Okay, so tell me about what you all are doing out here today.
Well, what we're doing today is coming in after the fact, after the storms have gone through, to assess the damage that we're seeing. So we take a look at what types of structures were damaged, what kind of failures we saw, roofs lifted off, complete destruction, shingles, whatever the case may be, and from that we make an assessment of how strong the tornado was. So right now we're just kind of going along the path of the storm to get an idea of how wide it was and what kind of damage we're seeing.
What's some of the damage you've seen so far?
Well, so far the most intense damage we've seen is obviously a lot of trees down, like you can see behind us. We've seen large sections of roofs lifted off of homes. There's been no total destruction like you would see with really violent, strong tornadoes. But we aren't finished with the damage survey either. So far, large sections of roofs being lifted off and thrown several yards away is the most intense damage we've seen.
Can you tell me about how long you expect to be out here today?
That really depends. It probably won't be a really long storm survey. Right now we've been out a little over an hour, so we might be out here another hour or two tops. It won't be an all-day thing because it's not a long track tornado or an extremely violent tornado so far that we've seen. But I would expect another hour or so, or maybe two tops, somewhere around that range.
Okay, and what are some of the signs you're looking for as far as, whether it was a tornado or straight line winds? What are some of the things you look for that?
Well, with straight line winds, a lot of times what you'll see is, it may be as narrow as tornado damage, but a lot of times it's a little bit more wider, in coverage. And oftentimes in straight line winds, everything is facing basically the same direction. So when we're looking to differentiate between tornadic damage and straight line winds, we're looking to see, okay, are there things laying in different directions, like on the house that we just came from around the corner. The roof is laying in one direction, but if you go around the back side of the house, there's insulation and mud and dirt, stuff like that was thrown back at the back side of the house. So that's indicative of a real dramatic and strong wind shift after the initial damage occurs, which is indicative of tornado. You're also looking at things being lofted into the air, insulation, pieces of roofs, tin roofs and stuff like that. Where again with straight line winds, it would all be unidirectional, and you can't see roofs lifted off of homes in intense straight line winds. But there's some things, subtle differences that will let you know it was a tornado.
Okay, and how long does it usually take to come to that kind of a conclusion or like a rating decision?
The rating, we usually wait until we're pretty much finished with the damage survey to make sure that we're not missing some key piece of damage evidence, if you will. In terms of and that's something that we would give out to the emergency management and then the media second. I forgot your other question there. I apologize.
That's fine. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I would just like to add that this is a great time to reiterate the importance of having ways of receiving weather information and warning information. A lot of these people made it to their safe place just in time, and others were there well ahead of time. So it's just situations like this drive home the importance of having ways of receiving weather warnings.
And can you tell me, I have one more question, can you tell me just in general a little bit about, for those who may not be familiar with weather?
Well, in terms of what the Weather Service does, we issue routine day-to-day forecasts, just like you would see from any number of weather information outlets, AccuWeather, the Weather Channel, your local TV stations, any of that stuff. But really the core of our mission is protection of life and property. And the primary way we do that is through the issuance of warnings. So thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, flash flood warnings, all of that is encompassed in our core duties and core mission. And it's so we're the ones that when the media relays the warnings that are being issued, we're the ones issuing that, and in partnership with us, they're relaying that information to the general public. But the core of our mission is protection of life and property, and we do that through the issuance of any number of weather warnings.
Okay, thank you very much.